Diggnation, brought to you by GoDaddy.com and Cashfly.
Beware the second coming of the Squirrel Lord.
Welcome to Diggnation.
Also potentially hazardous to your health.
Why do you have flies in your freaking house? I've noticed this earlier.
It's Southern California and I have fruit.
This is my favorite story of all time. All right, moving on. You put zombie and you put theory in the title, and I don't want to do it.
Theory zombie Kevin.
Diggnation.com.
Hello and welcome to Diggnation episode number 31. I'm Alex Albrecht.
And I'm Kevin Rose. Diggnation covers our favorite weekly top stories on the social news website digg.com, D-I-G-G.com.
That's right.
Yes.
We're here in lovely San Francisco again. We left our heart. I left my heart here last time and came back for it. So
And we have
here.
beers.
We have beers.
Something you have yet to try yet.
No, but everybody keeps talking about it.
Makes sense.
That doesn't make sense either. I have yet to try yet.
Hold on.
I have yet to try yet. Are you going to
So
open mine?
I am. So I accidentally, here's the problem. These are Hoegaarden, which is a Belgium ale.
Okay. They're nice and icy.
Yeah, the problem is I stuck them in the freezer because I thought, hey, it's always nice to have a great little frosty beer, but I think there's actually icicles in the beer. No, look at that.
No beersicles.
That looks good.
It does?
Oh, have you tried, you've never tried Hoegaarden
I don't
before.
think I have tried Hoegaarden. You guys are always talking
Oh,
about it.
it's amazing. Give that a little taste and let me know what you think.
I like the little, that weird, like, little raised logo thing there.
Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff.
This is Hoegaarden. What kind of beer is it?
It's Belgium. It's like a white, it's a white ale.
Oh, it's beer. That's some beer.
I really don't know a whole bunch about it, but it's like a Belgian white ale.
Yeah.
And it's really good. It's kind of got a light, crisp citrus type taste to it.
Sure.
It's smooth, isn't it, though?
Yes. It's, yeah, it's good. It's cold. Good.
It's really hard to find, though. The problem is, like, we're big, like, Keith and Dan are huge fans of Hoegaarden. And in San Francisco, we're lucky because it's all over the place. But if you go outside of, like, San Francisco, I've had a really hard time finding it in, like, other Las Vegas or other places. It's kind of rare.
Yep. Well, I'll keep my eye. It's actually good. I'll have to see how it goes down.
Yeah. Good stuff.
It's a good sipping ale.
All right.
First story.
Let's do it.
Disney buys Pixar
This is huge.
for $7 billion. That's billion with a B, people. Yes, $7 billion. We're not talking lasers. Frickin' lasers. 2,350 people dug the story submitted by Apple Xtrint, Pixar animation studio, whose films have generated critical acclaim with both domestic and overseas audiences, is being brought tomorrow.
But
By Disney for $7 billion. Steve Jobs, this is horrible, I'm not even drunk. Steve Jobs, as the CEO of Pixar, will become the largest shareholder in Disney.
this is insane.
This is huge because Pixar was part of Disney.
Yeah, well, it's just really crazy that, no, they weren't part of Disney. Was it just like a subdivision of Disney?
Pixar, and then they got rid of it. Disney and Pixar went their separate ways, and now Disney pays to have Pixar back. And I think it's clear because...
Jobs started Pixar, though, right? That was like his little baby.
Well, yes. I'm not quite sure exactly the lineage. I don't know if he... I know he helped fund it. I don't know if it was like he was like, oh, I want to do computer animation. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I know that they started out as a real small end thing, but I think it was Disney that partnered with them that made the first feature-length
exactly.
film.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I think was Toy Story, the original one. But yeah, and then they went their separate ways fairly recently, like almost like 3-4 years ago. They went their separate ways. But then Disney came out and said that they were going to go the way of Pixar.
Right.
That they were going to stop making hand-drawn.
Right, because for the longest time they're like, hey, we still want to stick to that traditional like animation style, do the cells, and like everyone was moving to 3D. Obviously, Pixar had all the talent there. They had all the great artists, and it makes sense for Disney though, because they've made some crap stuff. And
they have
all
made
the
some
good
crap
stuff has
stuff.
been from like Pixar and what's the other little animation studio?
DreamWorks does it. Well, it's not little, but DreamWorks does some animation stuff, and 20th Century Fox came out with what was it, Robots, which was not so good.
Yeah.
But even Pixar. I mean, Cars. Have you seen the trailers for that?
No. The new trailer looks actually pretty good.
Well, good, because the last 100 sucked.
Yeah.
I was not excited to see Cars, and I loved, like, Bug's Life was hysterical.
Bug's Life was great.
But I'm also a big fan of the classic Disney movies. You know what I mean, like Lion King and Aladdin, and you know all those things. So it's a little bit hard for me to say like, ooh, great, they're going fully 3D animation. You know what I mean? Because I like the original
that old
stuff.
style.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I could still go back to it though. You can still do that in like a 3D environment, you know. Like think of South Park. South Park's all done in Maya, and that's like a 3D.
Yeah, but Pixar is taking over for all of Disney's animation. So not only did they buy Pixar, but they bought it and then said, you now are our animation department.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, well,
no wonder Steve Jobs.
$7 billion.
Steve Jobs take a $1 salary. You know that, like that's what he gets paid by Apple is like $1 a year. It's like
and
a salary.
Just has like hundreds bazillions.
He doesn't need
stock.
any money. Look how much money he just made off this deal.
Yeah, right.
Probably
Well,
walked away
$7
with
billion.
Well, it wasn't all his, but you know he probably walked away with a couple billion at least.
A lot of it. Yeah.
But cool stuff.
Yeah, good times. Apple, Pixar, but
This next story is pretty amazing. I have to say, I was kind of blown away. I was confused by the title, but then once I checked out the video, it was really cool. The title is Video 8088 Corruption Awesome Hack. 2,304 people dug this story, submitted by Cliffs, Osaka, Japan. He says color video running at 30 frames per second with audio on an original 4.77 megahertz 8088 IBM PC model 5150 with 640K of RAM, CGA video, 10 megabyte hard drive, and a Sound Blaster Pro. No tricks. This is for real. It says this kind of speed is only achievable using text mode, an 8088 assembler, and the programmer is Jim Leonard. This is really cool.
It's
because
crazy.
Here's the deal. Like the 8088, I mean, obviously it was only running at 4.77 megahertz. Extremely old school
machine. My phone
machine.
is about 20,000 times faster than that.
Right, we're talking like booting from floppies. We're talking like this is old school hardware.
Yeah.
I never thought
no.
it could run this type of video.
No,
it
I mean, it's
blew
crap
me away.
video.
It's crap. It's like all pixelated.
Yeah.
It's like ASCII characters.
But still, it looks like Google Video.
Yeah. It totally does.
Doesn't it look like Google Video?
You're absolutely right.
So we now know that Google Video could run on an 8088.
You're absolutely right. I was trying to like think of like I'm like what else looks really crappy and grainy like that? And Google
like,
Video.
Google Video.
Yeah. So yeah.
We're gonna talk about Google Video.
It's one of those things.
Well, first off,
it's
I want to
actually
just
on
take
Google
this moment.
Video.
I know.
That's how you have to watch it.
It's horrible, but maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's like high definition.
We can't tell because it's playing through Google Video.
But the one thing I'm going to say is that I don't know whose idea it was to do those whole stupid videos that went around. It was like, this is weird. It was a commercial in the Netherlands. And then all of a sudden it's like your audio's real low, so you turn up the volume and you're just sitting there watching, and then something comes out, it's like, fuck ah! Because every time I watch a video on the internet, I'm always like this.
Yeah. Dude, I just got hit with one of those the other day.
Like, is this going to be like, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I'm like,
or
I put the mute on, watch it the first time.
I got hit with one of I was clicking on a link the other day and it's like, you're watching gay porn, like super loud.
Well,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
That is awesome.
Have you been hit with that one yet?
Like, hey, baby.
No,
this man watches gay porn on his games. You're like,
and then it's like, it's opening up new windows, like, and it's like, there's pop-ups all over the place. I can't close out. It's like gay porn, gay porn.
I don't even want to see those pop-ups.
It was, no, I mean, well, it was actually pretty bad. It was like guys, you know, doing things.
I don't need, blah, blah, blah.
But yeah, it was not a good time.
So that's the end of that. No, but I hate that. I don't know who came up with that idea because it's so easy. And then they have like the animated GIFs that like start off as like, oh, la, 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 and then it's like, blah, blah, blah. And they're the cheesiest, like, it's like just some dude in like a freaking mask who's like, blah.
Yeah, and it's always like, there's a ghost in the background. Like, look for the ghost. You can barely see it. And by the way, turn up your volume because you want to hear it too. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I hate those people. But anyway, I'd love sending those to friends.
Yeah. The second
I might have sent you the gay porn one.
Yeah, probably do.
So, but anyway, so I have to say, so it's a cool video, but the whole time I was sort of like, does the thing, what happens?
Well, they have Tron, I mean, watch the video. I'm sure Keith's already shown it. Download the video version of Diggnation. It's really cool.
Some dude like breakdancing in front of the freaking Eiffel Tower, wherever that came from.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, the first guy was like, I'm breakdancing, man, I'm Paris, blah, blah, blah.
Did you, last week when we were like, hey, he's rewinding the video, he's fast forwarding the video. You know when we did that last week? Keith's like, dude, that took me like 5 hours to do.
Oh, gosh.
Well, no, because you just got the new, you said it took you a while though, right? You said several hours.
Well, don't do it next time.
Well, we've made the transition now to Apple, because now this video
because somehow Macintosh is taking over this whole company.
I'm telling you. it's a good thing.
Well, hey, if you guys buy me
Final
back,
cut.
I'll wear that. I'll use this one.
Final cut. All right, next
Final
story.
Cut is
You're up.
really good. All right, my blah, 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 blah. Restaurant sued for playing copyrighted music. This one's near and dear to my heart because it's out of Fresno, California. 1,282 people dug this story, submitted by Funman1. A restaurant is being sued in federal court. Jeez, I don't know what this is with a beard. A restaurant is being sued in federal court by a group representing songwriters for playing tunes written by Van Morrison, Dwight Yoakam, and others without a license. BMI says damages could reach, get ready, $750 per song. They could go out of business.
Dude,
That's horrible.
yeah. I had no idea that restaurants had to pay like BMI.
Anytime that you play music, even like
in a
when
public setting.
Yeah, like I did. I had
Really?
an improv troupe back in LA, and we had to be careful because if anybody ever came to the show, we used all these like popular songs, and we were getting paid. People were paying to come in. Anytime you're in a setting where people are paying for a service, whatever that is, if it's a restaurant, if it's a clothing store, I mean, you have to get licensed music.
Okay, I had no idea. So they're basically, you're telling me that people are sitting down or going to restaurants and making sure they have valid licenses? They're actually like sending out like
this
scouts?
is what it said. No. What happened was, this is I think the faux pas, this is of course called Porky's, so it's clearly a high-class establishment in Fresno, California.
That's
Porky's.
Porky's?
So what happened was Porky's went into, had a conversation with BMI, and they started negotiating, and it was like a year and a half that they went through negotiations. It's only like $600 a year, but they declined to do it. So that's why they went in and they were like, okay, well, you declined to do it. That means you can't play these music.
Right.
And they were still playing, like Brown Eyed Girl from Van Morrison and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just another one of those things where it's like, man, it's like, it's music. You know what I mean? Like, come on, I could turn on the radio station, but because it's a restaurant.
Well, I had no idea. I thought if you owned the CD, like if you bought the music, you could play it for the group of people. But I guess if they're paying,
Nope.
that makes sense.
Nope.
I mean, it just sucks.
It's very concise.
Yes.
It just
I mean, there's nothing they can do, really, right? I mean, they
could pay the licensing fee or stop playing their music or have local bands come in and give them CDs. I mean, there's a lot of music.
Local bands is
Who
the
were
way to
those
do
guys?
it.
Remember the podcast guys that were
Oh,
getting
PodSafe Music.
PodSafe Music. I
Yeah.
mean, there's clearly people out there who are like, just for the love of Pete, play my music.
Right.
It just happens to be that most of these people are dead, except I think Dwight Yoakam's still alive.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So that happened in Fresno.
Nice. Next story. Yahoo throws in the towel. Google wins. 1,905 people dug the story, submitted by Sometimes. Yahoo has given up their quest for search dominance. Yahoo Inc. Is into the battle with Google for its, let's see here, market dominance. Follow-up. Oh, hold on. There's a follow-up story to this. So here's the deal. Basically what happened is there was a story that came out that was released.
That said Yahoo has said we are getting out of the search engine business.
Right. They said, well,
Which I thought was a good idea.
No. They didn't say they were getting out of the business altogether. They say we're still going to provide search, but we're happy to maintain the existing like market share that we have, and we're not really going to go after Google and compete with Google in the search arena.
Okay.
So what happened is this story was released. It was really popular. It spread all over the place. I mean, it had 1,900 digs. But then when Yahoo actually officially responded on their search blog, and this response or the follow-up story says Yahoo responds to controversy about not being number one, wrong, and it's actually a really well-written retort from Yahoo saying no, we're not getting out of search. In fact, we're just getting started because they have some of the best. They were like naming off names like of engineers that I'm sure that there were some guys from Ingtumi, which is a company they acquired, a big search company way back when. And about how they're actually expanding into kind of social like search using Delicious and like Flickr and some of the other things.
Right, because they bought a bunch of that stuff.
MyWeb, they bought a bunch of that stuff. And I think Yahoo's on the right path. I don't think that they're losing the game. I mean, if you're talking about just straight up search, like going to the front page, doing a search, and looking for something, yes, right now, as it stands today, I'm going to continue to use Google.
Right.
I think that Google is like kind of the standard, the de facto standard for most geeks out there that want to find information real quick. But
because it's completely bare bones.
Right, and it gives you
just 1, 2, there you are.
But I think that in the future, this is going to shift, and I think that Yahoo is ahead of the curve here because Google is relying upon like masses of computers to index and crawl and actually rate the information about this should be ranked first, this should be ranked second. We know this because we have these advanced algorithms that can do this.
Right.
Yahoo's taking a different approach. It's saying we're people powered. We're creating these things like they have the MyWeb, Yahoo Answers, Delicious.
So they're going to do more of this is what the population believes should be the higher ranked sites based on your search. So rather than letting a computer kind of figure that out,
or a combination of both, using both algorithms and people, and also
and the sort of social aspect.
right.
of
The
it.
social aspect is key because I think in the future we're really going to see, when you're doing a search or you're looking for a product, you're looking for a service. It's not going to be about, I'm typing in San Francisco dentist and all of a sudden I see a list of like raw results. It's going to be about typing that in and then getting those results from a network of friends that have been to people that they know, that they trust. It's more about combining and using that social community of people to find relevant information.
Well, it's because it's like what the guy, who's the Fox News, the News Corp guy, not Rutger
Rupert
Hauer.
Murdoch. So you're thinking of
Rutger Hauer. He doesn't know News Corp, does he? Rutger Hauer? No, I don't think so. Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah.
He bought MySpace. And
Right.
he said that he, rather than like looking into Google or a Yahoo or something like that, he was like, people, when they go, and I think I've even talked about this on Diggnation, but he was saying that when people go to the web, they already know where they want to go.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they know what websites they're going to hit to get their news. They know what websites they're going to hit to get their whatever. And so search engines is not where the people are going to end up in the future. It's going to be about socializing and getting information that other people have.
And that's where the breakdown is today. Because right now, you know where you want to go, but you don't have any way to tell me, unless it's a phone call or email or an IM,
like where
you like to go. So
but
it's
that gets into weird personal private issues, because I don't know if I want people knowing what websites I go to.
But it's about choosing what you want to share. And that's what we're doing with Dig and personal profiles and saying, I'm into this article, I'm into this. You don't ever have to talk to me. I visit your profile all the time.
Right.
I have it in my friends list, and I can see where you're going and what you're recommending to me and your group of friends.
I could see how that would be something if Yahoo was like, search for the website, and then you could choose like, this is a good website, give it a star or whatever, and then I could look and see how many people starred certain things, or if I had friends, like I'd be like, well, where does Kevin go to get his TVs? You know what I mean?
Oh, it's going to be awesome. I mean, it's going to apply to so many different things, not just news. I mean, products that you use.
Sure.
Songs and music that you're into.
Well, it'll be interesting to see where the web goes, because clearly there's been shifts over time.
The next 10 years are going to be amazing. It's going to be a completely different way of searching, and I think Google is behind in this area because they're not even looking at this. They are kind of, they have their toolbar, which kind of tracks where you're going and things like that, and they have Orkut, which is like their social, MySpace competitor. But in the end, it's been Sergey's, their vision, the guys at the top at Google, that they want to use computers and algorithms to determine what is relevant, but that's not what I want. I want social recommendations from a group of peers that I trust.
Right. Well, that also gets into the problem. I don't trust 99% of the people's opinions on the internet.
Right, exactly. But
so
you
then
trust
you got to
your
get
friends.
into So then you got to get into what kind of information. Although now we're totally off topic.
Yeah.
So basically, Yahoo said, F you and the A people, we are still going strong with the search.
Right, but what is interesting about this more than anything is that Yahoo, it may appear today that they're not taking the right steps, like they're not fighting the search game.
But you think that they're building the foundation for the next 10 years.
Well, exactly. I couldn't have said it
smart.
better.
Well, good. Then I'm glad I said it.
Good stuff.
Speaking of the big multicolored Google, Google Video site updated. 807 people dug the story submitted by Trent Q. We talked about Google Video, their whole pay service coming out and just being atrocious.
Right.
Google Video has updated their site with an easier to understand front page layout and a few new buttons, but overall, it still sucks.
Oh man, I feel bad. We lay into Google so much lately.
Well, but do we?
Wait,
we do.
Yes.
Yeah, but look at this.
Okay.
Honestly, look at this. CSI. All right, so I click on CSI. That's all I get?
I know.
And then, hey, $1.99.
And
I don't
day
even know
pass.
Day Pass. I don't want to watch this on Google Video for a day for $1.99, people. Come on, Google, get your head out of your Apple.
Dude, it's engineers. It's engineers, like
You're
PhD
right.
engineers
What's
that are
the
like,
exact difference?
I like ASCII mode, I want a shell to be able to access my videos. It's like, no.
We want to convert all the images into ASCII.
It's like, do you know what I mean though? It's like
Yeah.
that the engineer mentality, and it's like, but they really
But
not.
there is but here's the deal. I truly believe there is, like, Apple has the sort of like frilly, beautiful package thing down.
They do a great job.
I will say there is room for a bare bones, very easy to use, very low, low overhead. The GUI is just this is what you get. Video store. I believe there's a time out there. This is not it.
And I don't think Apple has it either. I think what Apple has done right now is they say, hey, we have this music store. Oh, by the way, look at this link over here. We have videos. I think we're going to see a huge overhaul to the whole music video store with Apple.
Well, clearly.
I mean, they're just getting
Video
started.
is an afterthought. Same thing with the iPod. The iPod is clearly not designed for video. They're going to be, I mean, you have a device that is already 16 by 9.
Right.
And you put a 4:3 screen on it. That's just them taking the next step. What it's going to happen is, and this is, mark my words, the way that the iPod's going to blow out for video is it's going to be touchscreen, it's going to turn sideways. You're going to be able to look at the touchscreen and have the actual, the toggle thing as an image, you know what I mean? Like the screen will be touch.
It's so funny.
And then it'll turn it sideways, and you'll get the full 16 by 9.
Oh, without a doubt. And it's one of those things where I was playing with Dan. Dan has, my roommate Dan Hewitt has one of the original iPods.
Oh, god damn, I saw that in the car.
I know.
Holy crap.
I went in his
thing
car.
is horrible.
And it's like a little tank. I was going through the
like
menus.
This thick.
It's like CGA graphics. It's not even that. It's like black and white.
And it's a physical wheel that spins.
Yeah. And it's just like, oh my, it's so funny. It's so how quickly we forget.
Yeah, how crappy it was.
Crappy it was. And that's the same thing that you see today with the video iPod. It's like, I mean, it's 4 or 5 years from now, it's going to be a completely
Although
different
I have to say, I
ballgame.
love the 30 gig. I have the 30 gig, and I have to say, I think I like it better than the 60 because it's thinner.
Well,
The 30 gig is actually a little bit
'cause
thinner,
this has a
and
hard
it's
drive.
dude, it is really slick looking.
Yeah.
I love mine.
That's cool.
I just watched The Corpse Bride.
Did you like that? I like that.
The movie?
Yeah.
It's not done yet. Blah, blah, blah. It's
Okay.
only an hour flight.
All
Blah, blah, blah,
right,
blah, blah.
I'll tell you.
They can only let me use it for 40 minutes. Blah, blah, blah.
All right, next story.
What?
Booth, what?
What?
Booth Babes banned 1,657 people dug this story submitted by R. Litchfield. It says, it looks like there is less eye candy at the E3 Expo show in Los Angeles.
Cuts deep.
What are these models to do?
cuts deep.
This is a quote from E3, the E3...
From their booklet, their guide booklet.
Yeah, their guidebook about what you should do. It says, live models conducting conduct that is sexually explicit and or sexually provocative, including but not limited to nudity, partial nudity, and bathing suit bottoms are prohibited on the show floor, all common areas, and any access points to the show.
First off, you have to be 18 years old to get in.
Right. But but I think what they're doing, I think this is a good step, actually.
Oh, whoa.
Hold on, I know that
are you talking about?
99.999% of the audience, which is males,
Yeah.
is
Even
gonna
the
disagree.
females go for the booth, baby.
No,
Come on.
here's the problem, though. You've seen the Booth Babes. It's getting a little out of hand, man. There's like, well, no.
I'm taking your heterosexual male card right now.
No, hold
It has
on.
been revoked.
No.
No, it has been revoked.
No, let me explain, though.
It's getting out of hand. These women, they're scantily clad and dressed
It's
as
just-
anime characters.
It's just
It's
so
horrible.
Have you ever gone to a booth and they got the babes like touching each other and
Yep.
it's like
Yes, I have.
and there's like
And those are good companies.
Yep, there's a big crowd of dudes around there and you're just like, I just want to see the products. Like, why do they have to do this fake lesbian thing? It's just like,
Well, the products are there. They're just off in the corner. It's not about the products. It's E3.
I don't mind the booth babes. I'm just like, get rid of the stupid like fake lesbian crap. It's just so stupid.
So did you not go to like the backyard wrestling booth and wrestle one of the chicks and get your picture taken with her?
No, I didn't do that.
You're missing out on half of the E3.
That's
the whole point.
You know what? I've only been to E3 once.
Well, first
so-
off, okay, well, let me ask you. Well, that's
Yes.
your main problem. But
What?
let's ask you this. So you got guys walking around like World War II guys for Call of Duty 2 or 10 or whatever.
Right.
And they're like, es wenn ein moving. You know what I mean? You're like, hey, that's cool. It's the guy.
No, I think that's
No.
stupid too. I mean, at the end of the day, well, here's the
You have
problem.
no
Hold on.
imagination, my
Let
friend.
me say one thing.
You are.
I guess
killing
I'm a
puppies.
different type of conference goer than you are. So like
Conferences are fucking. They're so boring. It's the only reason you go.
I
is so
go
you
for
can
the
play
products
stuff.
though, man.
I go for the products too, my friend.
I'm revoking your card, dude. What was that?
Dude, that was comic relief. That was my greased up deaf guy. Oh, I saw that episode.
What's that? Which
The
one?
greased up deaf guy at the picnic. Remember?
Yes.
Where he's like, now we go run after the greased up deaf guy. I'd never seen the one that was like the original.
I saw that too.
I
The
didn't see that
original.
either.
It started with the original.
Yeah,
It's
how he
We're talking about
like,
Family
man.
Guy for the people that don't know it
yeah.
at home.
That they went to this like picnic for I think his company or something like that, and they were like, oh, this is my favorite part. He's like, it's the part where they let the greased up deaf guy go, and then we have to catch him, and
my
he's in a
gosh.
cage, and they open it up. He's like, "You're not gonna catch me this
Oh,
year."
I've never seen that.
it's the
Oh.
synthesis of the,
Dude, I feel like I need to go watch that right now. It's like we should almost stop down. It's like
Yeah, push pause. We come back and we're like, damn, that was funny. Anyway, moving on. No, So anyway, I think with E3, especially E3, first off, it's huge, it's gaudy, it's atrocious. It's just like, it's an assault on your senses. And I play the video games. I go and look at the new hardware. I go and talk to people. And now that we're going to be going as press, I'm going to go into the back rooms and talk to the people about what the hardcore internals of the different new systems are.
Have you talked to the booth babes though?
They're a horror. I feel bad for them. Yes, I want to put a
that's how I
towel on them
feel.
and give them a hug and a sandwich. But that's not what I'm there for.
Right, but that's how I feel though. I look at these girls and I'm just like,
First off, they're not homeless.
Right,
They're getting paid like 10 grand an hour.
But it's just like,
not that much.
It's like, come on. It's like, what are you doing? It's
what? We all choose our careers.
Yeah, that's true.
They chose theirs.
Yes. Which is booth babe.
Booth babes. But I can see. I heard the. I got the email and heard 12 million geek men over the age of 18 scream in one foul moment. And I felt some quiver in my bones, and I went to my email. I was like, "What was that? Did you feel that? Something has happened." And I checked my email, and I was like,
"Disturbance in the force."
And all I saw was the coffee cup tink and roll off my counter.
What are you talking about?
I'm painting a picture for the people who listen to the audio.
Next story.
Next story. PS3 silence raises doubts.
That's interesting.
942 people dug the story submitted by Dirty. I love that name.
That's a great
It's
dig name.
Durrty. Dirty.
I wonder what he's digging.
Oh, Jesus, I don't know.
Sometimes I just go to these guys' profiles to see what what they're into.
Well, Dirty's been on a couple times because I love doing Dirty. Sony's future as a hardware company and legacy as a media company are both riding on PlayStation 3. Its long-awaited next-generation game console. But the less Sony says about the device, the louder skeptical voices grow.
I agree with
This
that.
is a big deal. So basically what happened was everybody's been kind of talking about, the PlayStation 2, and it was announced at E3 last year, and they had some like mock-ups of how the real hardware could possibly be running. I mean, they don't even have the specs. They showed some of the specs.
So no one's ever actually played it though, right?
It has never been made. It was being played off of 16 computers tied together and being like, this is a good close approximation of what the graphics are going to look like.
And
people got excited, but here's the deal: Sony has said that it's going to release the PlayStation 3 like summer 06, spring 06. So soon. They said it was going to be coming out soon. But the problem is that they did not even mention the PlayStation 3 at the keynote address for Sony's guy at CES.
Right.
Nor was the Sony PlayStation 3 even anywhere around their huge booth at CES. There have been a couple different other opportunities from them to talk about the PlayStation 3, and they never speak about it.
Right, which is...
And the PlayStation 2 was late. It was pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed because they were having a hard time meeting the production demands. And so now people are starting to say Sony's PlayStation 3 will not be the speed that they say, will be over $500 easily.
That's crazy.
Easily.
No one's going to spend that much
Well,
money.
but it's got the freaking, even just the Blu-ray
Yeah,
drive.
but it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. It's what they can afford.
No, I know. Believe me, I know. Even $299 for a core system is a lot. You know what I mean? But here's the deal: is that now analysts in the industry are actually saying that the more reasonable expectation is that the PlayStation 3 will not be released for under $500 and will not be released before Thanksgiving next year.
That's crazy.
That's going to be a
They're gonna
huge
lose.
kick in the crotch.
It's going to be huge.
Because that's all that time for Xbox to actually catch up, which I want to talk about.
And we will talk about that. But you also have to mention that, you got to think that just like with every single console release that has ever come out in the last 10 years, there's always this, this ramp up from the supply versus demand. And so if this doesn't come out until Thanksgiving of this year, we're talking
supply and demand is going to meet in that moment.
We're talking like Thanksgiving of next year before we actually can go down to a Best Buy and pick one up.
Right, hell yeah.
Which
Plus,
is insane.
The time that gets launched, I mean, Microsoft has said, and Bungie has denied, but Microsoft has said that the moment the PlayStation 3 comes out, it will be the day and time to the precise day and time that they release Halo 3 for the Xbox 360. Which is just going to be, if this, and Benji said we can't make that, we're not going to be done for spring 06.
Right.
But if they keep moving the PlayStation 3 back,
it's gonna
there's a
happen.
possibility that they will do that. And I will tell you right now, that's going to be the heel on the throat of Sony. for in this industry. And if the Xbox 360, because by the time this gets released, if the Xbox 360 games
dude.
are starting to get to the second generation of games
Dude,
on the
there'll
console,
be like 60, 80, 100 games out for the Xbox 360. They'll be in like you'll be able to go down and buy them anywhere.
yeah.
And it's like it's over. It's game
Yeah.
well, except for Japan.
Now
They're
Japan,
the wild card.
Well, but they're a very small wild card. It's like
Well,
playing a
there's
card
still
that big
millions
that
of
goes
units,
like,
you know.
That's true. And here's the deal. Japan will always want to play the Sony device.
Right.
Because they're Japanese. They don't care. They're Japanese.
Well, I mean,
And it's not like the Xbox 360 is coming out with the horse race trainer games. You know what I mean? Like,
so you tell me that the Revolution's going to be out before
there is a possibility now that the Revolution will be released before the PlayStation.
I want a
3.
Revolution, man. Like, forget all this
dude, me
like
too.
crazy like. Just give me a $199 console or $150 console.
Dude, Topspin 2.
Done
Xbox
deal.
Live.
I'm there.
Okay.
I would like to. So, well,
Now,
hold
speaking
on.
of which, I do
Real
have to
quick,
say,
real quick.
last week I was super excited because I had purchased my Xbox 360.
Yes.
And my lovely girlfriend was very gracious to give it to me for Valentine's Day. Well,
Which you should marry.
which I should marry, I guess.
But you haven't.
But I have not. But that kind of backfired. I bought my console in a bundle off of Walmart.com.
Which, you know, Walmart, okay, fair
Big
enough.
store, seems nice, whatever.
It was there.
And the one thing I will say is through this whole transaction, they were nothing but nice.
Meaning the confirmation emails were nice, or
Confirmation emails were nice. I got.
how are you dealing with
I could
Walmart?
check to see. Well, I'll tell you how I'm dealing with Walmart. So what happens was I get this email that says one of the games that you ordered is back ordered.
Yeah, fair enough. It happens.
Yeah, Call of Duty 2.
Okay.
So they said, we'll wait and see if we can ship it. So I immediately emailed them and I said, please tell me this is not going to hold up because I bought a bundle.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me the bundle with the Xbox 360 Premium Edition is going to be sitting in the warehouse because you don't have a copy of Call of Duty 2.
Well, of course not. They'll just ship
I
that
could
later.
care. They'll just ship that later.
Great.
So then they shipped everything to me,
Okay.
except for Call of Duty 2 and the PlayStation or the Xbox 360.
So you got the controllers?
Not well, yes.
Did you get
so
the,
what happened
did you get
was
the cables? Like the
no. So what happened was I was looking and I was like, okay, so they just haven't quite yet gotten the Xbox 360
Right.
ready to go out the door, but they've sent me my Xbox Live membership,
Oh, that
my wireless
sucks.
controller,
So
my
it's gonna
5
be like
other
6 more
games.
months.
I finally got the email. This item is back ordered, and I flipped out. I was like, the only reason I bought. First off, you just sent me a whole bunch of crap, like $400 worth of crap I can't use.
Right.
Because you can't send the system.
Hey, better than nothing.
But here's the deal. I called them, and they were immediately like, we'll cancel the system, we'll cancel that. Just take whatever you have, walk it into a Walmart, and they will give you all
that's
that money
pretty cool.
back, including shipping.
Oh, cool.
So they've been really good.
Did you do that?
Not yet. It's sitting in my mailbox right now. So they've been really good, but horribly disappointing to me. But I'm going to go back to that Ben's Bargains Xbox 360 tracker because it's always popping up with new editions of it, and I'm going to try it again.
Nice. Good deal.
So,
Last story. All right.
Can't do what I wanted to say. He was like, is he going to do it? All right, go.
Space Shuttle, a death trap, says astronaut. 942 people dug this story, submitted by Joe Beats. He says, one of America's most experienced astronauts has denounced the Space Shuttle as a death trap and accused U.S. space officials as stifling all concerns raised about its safety. Raised, yes.
Well, I'm going to say this is a little bit close to my heart because most of you know, my dad used to be the head of the National Space Council, so I have been involved in the space industry for a very long time. And it hurts me to think that one of our astronauts would come out and say such really negative things about our space program. Because I truly believe that we should have a space program, but it's also a very dangerous effort.
Right. But
So now, what was it that he said? Did he come out and say, like,
Well,
because
he's
clearly
just
we've
pointing
all
out-
said, like, the thing that landed on the, the lunar lander was, had about as much processing power as a Nintendo Entertainment System.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well-
and the space shuttle was designed in 1978.
Right, which is the problem, which is what he's saying. He's saying basically that there's no, he said, powered flight escape system. There's no escape system for the astronauts. Should anything go wrong, he said there's no bailout system, and there should be
Right,
one, which
okay.
is something that they're planning in future generations of the space shuttle.
Well, I know that they're doing, like, the X1? Is that what it's called? The X1 one? The one that Lockheed and Boeing are doing? Or Lockheed and
Right.
somebody else are doing?
So basically, what he said right here, I don't know if this is a quote or not, but he said the bailout system in use on the space shuttle is the same bailout system a B-17 bomber had during World War II.
Which is what, parachute?
Yeah, which is basically like you're screwed. You're going down with it.
They're like halfway to the moon and they're like, everybody out! Got parachutes out.
So,
They're like,
I mean, there's nothing...
in-flight movie?
You got to admit, though, I mean, it's
an old ship.
Right.
It's an old ship.
So should they be flying right now? I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, but it still works.
Although I'd kind of go if they're given the chance. Would you still go up if like?
Oh, I'd go up in a heartbeat.
Really? Even there's like a 5% chance you're gonna.
When would
die?
you ever be able to say? Honestly, I was on a plane about 10 years ago. Maybe not quite 10. No, about 10. Yeah, I was about 17, something like that. 18. And I was on the plane with my dad, and I think we were flying from D.C. to California, and my dad bumped into this guy. He was just walking back to the bathroom, and he came back, and he was like, "Oh man, how you doing?" I think it was Mike something or other. And he came back and was like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm Mike." And I was like, "Oh, how you doing?" Blah 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 blah. And it was really weird. He walked away and was like, "Oh, blah blah blah." And my dad goes, "That guy's been on the moon."
Oh wow.
Right. And I was just like, "What? Are you kidding me?" And he was like, "Yeah, he was one of the guys. He was one of the last astronauts to land on the moon."
Wow.
And it was just like, it's so awe-inspiring. Like that whole concept of the space industry and the space travel and exploration. I mean, it has to happen.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
It's not about
dangerous as all freaking
right.
get out.
It's one of those things
and
where
it's expensive. I mean, you see the numbers. Like, $5 billion a year for more than 1,600 engineers or 16,000 engineers just to maintain the fleet.
And they said that the new shuttle design is going to cost $150 billion. It's crazy. But here's the thing.
It's hard.
I think that this guy did the right thing in raising the concerns. At least he's throwing it out there, right? Because it's important that everyone knows that, there needs to be changes. There needs to be, we need to get this new shuttle out the door before, I don't know. It worries me that more people could die from this.
Well, but here's the problem. First off, there's been so much success without failure. The problem is that space travel is like a zero-sum game. It either works or everybody dies.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Very true.
And honestly, I think one of the most lucid things that President Bush ever said was when the second space shuttle disaster happened. He said, travel by rocket is a perilous endeavor. You have to realize that what we're doing is putting people on the edge of it too. The other thing, because my dad launches satellite, that's what his company does, and he said, just try to hold a pencil on its eraser and lift it up straight. It takes so much computing power just to maintain,
right?
Because it wants to flip over. You know what I mean? So it's a very dangerous thing, but we have to do it.
No, I understand, without a doubt.
But you're right. I mean, it's good that people are coming out and saying these are the things that are, it's shedding light on problems within the industry.
Yeah.
Because it's good.
All right.
That was sort of a downer way to end the game.
No, it's good. We got emails that are fun.
Yes. Okay, emails.
Keith, how we doing on time? Good? All right.
Dude, we're rocking it. So this is from John. And he writes, "Hey, Kevin and Alex," and the subject is baby girl. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
New baby.
Hey, Kevin and Alex, my wife and I are expecting in April. Congratulations, John and wife. I have a boy name picked out, but as a geek, I'm at a loss when it comes to girls' names.
Shouldn't be asking us.
No, you should not. There's no Dweezil Zappa in your life. My wife likes Océan. Océan, I think it is. It's French and pronounced Océan.
Océan.
Right? Océan?
Yeah.
Which I like, but I'm not sure about. It says, Kevin, hey, there's two of us. I trust your taste and hope you could give me some suggestions as well as weigh in on Océan. What do you think?
Océan's not bad.
Océan's not bad, but you got to realize that
you got to think about the make fun factor.
it's pretty high with
It's
a name
pretty
that
high when
nobody,
you get into school,
yeah.
like Océan. That's you got to think about that.
Yeah, you don't want to name your kid, I even think Apple's bad.
Oh, Apple's terrible.
There you go.
Who did
so you
that?
got to watch that. Now, here's the thing, but you also don't want it to be, just a generic name.
Right. You want something. There's a couple names I really like.
Dan had recommended Leia.
Leia, stupid.
Well, I'm just saying, Dan recommended it.
Dan's a Star Wars fan. He's like, Leia. It's like, come on.
Leia's not bad. If I met somebody and she was like, my name's Leia, my pants would fall.
Right, but you have to understand.
So, John, if that's where you're going for, then maybe Leia.
I think that,
but I have a feeling that's the opposite reaction
I have a couple suggestions.
Oh, okay. Stella's good.
My little niece is named Chloe. I like Chloe.
Chloe's great.
Chloe's a
Heather's
great
niece is
name.
named Chloe. She's the cutest baby in the world.
Yeah, but then again, you're gonna be stuck in one of these popular name type things because that's a big.
Seems to be a
Yeah.
good name in the last couple of years.
Another one I like, which is very rare, but is Mackenzie.
Like Phillips?
No, like
Or
the dog.
Austin? Like the dog?
like Spud Mackenzie, but not. No. Hold
Not
on.
Mackenzie Phillips.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Okay.
Spud's Mackenzie.
I don't know any other Mackenzies. So hear me out. Hold on. So imagine you walk into this bar, right? And you see this smoking girl, and you walk up to her and you're just like, "Hey, how's it going?" And she's like, "Hey, my name is Alex."
Kevin.
And she's like, "Oh, my name's Mackenzie." Ooh, come on.
Right, but not because I go, ooh, that's like Spud's Mackenzie.
No. I'm not. I don't think that you don't relate it to Spud Mackenzie. I was just saying that it was like.
No, Mackenzie's a good.
Mackenzie's a good name.
Mackenzie's good. It's sort of strong and
Yeah, it's strong and.
I like Alex.
No.
No, I'm serious. I like Alex as a girl or Michael as a girl's name.
What? Alex is a girl's name?
There's Alexandria.
Yeah, that's better.
But that's Alex.
I know, but it's just I don't want to. I don't want to
Well,
call
it's
a
not
girl.
like-
If
First
you're
off,
marrying
you
someone,
would never be able to call a girl Alex in
No,
bed. That would be
hell
awesome.
no.
Say my name. Say my name.
No way! I would never
You're
date a
like,
girl named Alex.
Alex.
Could you imagine? She's like, my name's Alex. I'd be like, nice to meet
Be like,
you.
nice to meet you. Love the blonde hair.
There's no way.
Well, I don't have to worry about that. It's not like I want to meet someone named Kevin.
Yes, that's very
Hi,
true.
my name's Kevin.
Keith, any suggestions, names? Keith.
Not off the top of my head.
Not off the top of his head.
Good.
All right.
Good. But there's lots of other names.
Yes,
So
but-
Mackenzie's a good one.
Ocean.
I like Olivia. My little sister's name is Olivia, and I think that's a really nice name.
Yeah.
We already said Leia, Dan.
We said Leia. Dan's coming out of his room. He's like, I heard you say Leia.
He's like, did you say Leia? Because I said it. That's a good.
But it's not a bad name. If your wife likes it, go with her because it's probably the best thing to do.
Yeah. Yes. Clearly.
Especially
is your
when it
wife
comes to girls'
French?
name. If it's a boy, I think I don't know. You got to pick the guy's name. I don't know.
What do you mean you
is
gotta
it-
pick
if
the
a
guy's
guy in
name?
the relationship? You got to have a little more weight there, picking the guy name, versus. See what I'm saying?
I think so.
No, I'm saying if you have a baby boy,
Right.
Like I want to be able to have like a little more weight when it comes to like.
Do you have a
picking-
name? Do you have like a name that you want? That's a telling
don't
sigh. You're
really.
like, ah.
I'm not thinking about it right now. I don't even have a
on.
girlfriend. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Heather really likes the name Oliver.
Oliver.
And I think Ollie Albrecht would just be a horrible, would just be, that poor kid would be like, hey, Ollie Albrecht, please.
Yeah.
That's horrible. If I can figure out how to make fun of him, he's not going to be named that.
Any other emails?
Sure, we have hundreds.
No, I didn't mean. Did you have another one? Is that it?
Let's just pick one at random. How's that sound?
Oh,
Ready?
boy.
No, that could be bad.
No, it's bad.
No, it's bad. Diggnation. Oh, here we go. Diggnation on XM Radio. This is the same thing. I think Opie and Anthony on XM 202 gave Diggnation a mention today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, something about. And they said they had plans to get clips to play on the air.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, which is cool.
Very cool.
I don't know what that is, but I'm sure
Nice.
it's good. I have Sirius.
So do we? That's it.
Okay.
We have some sponsors today.
Oh, yes, we do. It's game time. Right now, GoDaddy.com has domain names as low as $1.99. That's $1.99.
Oh, they've gone back.
Plus, as a kickoff special, I love the way they're talking about this because we'll mention it in a second. Enter code TOUCHDOWN, TOUCHDOWN, when you check out and save $10 on any order of $50 or more. Hurry up, this offer expires February 28th, 2006.
Nice.
The funny reason why this is because obviously GoDaddy.com, the first time I ever really heard about them was when they had that ad with the girl with the big boobies wearing a GoDaddy shirt
Right.
talking to Congress or whatever, and then they were going to air that twice, and they wouldn't let them air it the second time because they thought it was too racy.
Ah, that's right.
So GoDaddy submitted 10 different variations on an ad to ABC, and all 10 were rejected.
Oh man.
But the cool thing is that GoDaddy told us that we are more than welcome to air those commercials on Diggnation to show them the ones that wouldn't
nice.
make it. So I don't know if we'll do it this episode. Maybe Keith's got the thumbs up. Not this
No,
episode.
we can't get them this episode, but we'll do it
Next episode, we're going to get at least a few of them, more maybe a few of the raunchier ones that ABC said. I can't believe they said no to 10 of them. You know, at this point, they're just scared.
Oh yeah, I mean they don't want another
Boob incident.
nipple shot. Yeah.
Well, first off, clearly there's no nipple shot in the GoDaddy ads.
Well, it could be.
Could be.
We don't know.
Also, Cashfly. They handle all our distribution, our bandwidth distribution. Go to cashfly.com/Diggnation and use the code Diggnation when you sign up, and you get your first month absolutely free. I love it when the people that we support us help supporting our community.
Yeah, well, the cool thing is Cashfly, I mean, well, we've talked about this before, but every time you download our file, and the reason it's fast, and the reason why we have, like, what is it, 125,000 people a week?
125,000 people a week.
Yeah, 125,000 people a week can download us is not because we host it.
No.
It would crash our servers. They
I think
spread
this
it
whole
across.
apartment would burn down if somebody tried to suck that much out of here.
They spread it across like multiple servers. That's why they're called like Cashfly. They cache all the content all over the place. Check them out, cashfly.com/Diggnation.
And also TradePub.
Yes.
We hit this a couple weeks ago, and the TradePub guys hook us up with free technology trade magazines, like eWeek and Dr. Dobbs Journal. Visit diggnation.tradepub.com. And you sign up, you get all these free things. I just signed up for eWeekly, DV Video Archive, and the Game Developers Digest.
Yeah, the Game Developers is
I know,
awesome.
I'm so excited, dude, because I host that other show, SWAC, on MMORadio.com, and the guy is actually a game developer.
And you
who started that thing,
Game
and
Development
he's
Magazine is
actually
really
going to
cool.
start developing a game and wants me to help him design it. So I'm going to
Nice.
design a video game. How cool is that?
That's pretty cool.
That's
Nice.
pimp. It's because Star Wars Galaxy sucks so bad right now.
It does suck.
Literally, because it came from, he was like, I'm so frustrated with this game, I will design my own game that's all the things I wish this game had.
Nice.
But anyway, so go to diggnation.tradepub.com.
Yes, and sign up for
some free
eWeek though.
thing.
eWeek is the
Dude,
best. I
eWeek
get it
at
every
least.
single week. It's like we leave it on the coffee tables, although we clear them off when we're doing the show. But a lot of really good stuff, like high-end like enterprise computing stuff. If you're into that, like I would never buy any of that crap. Like I'm looking through eWeek and they're talking about these crazy, $100,000 like crazy SAN like RAID servers, and you're looking at it and you're like, it's cool that I know this is out there, but it's fun to read.
Yeah,
So
and
check
they
it
have
out.
a whole bunch of other stuff that you can do, like even like automotive accessories monthly. Like it's really random stuff, but it might be something that you're interested in. You go, oh, I didn't know that I could get like Dongle Weekly or whatever.
Dongle Weekly.
It's just
all about
all the
computer
news
dongles.
of computer dongles. I'd read Dongle Weekly.
All right.
All
On
right.
that note, check out our MySpace profiles because
Yes.
we're like keeping everyone in touch with each other through MySpace somehow. Go to myspace.com/SimpleNation is
Or
mine.
myspace.com/DiggnationAlex.
Yes, and of course, all the stuff that we've been digging throughout the week, all the cool tech stories and news, you can find at my profile, which is dig.com/users/Kevin Rose.
And you can check out my stuff at dig.com/user/Alex Albrecht. And also you can check out all the stories that we've covered this week and every week at dig.com/user/Diggnation.
Yeah, and it keeps track of everything going back. So like if you wonder like, hey, what was on episode number 4? We have all the links there in our profile. Every time you dig a story, it goes to your own personal profile, and that's how we track all of them.
There you go. That's it for this week's edition of Diggnation. I'm Alex Albrecht.
And I'm Kevin Rose. Until next time.
Hasta luego, my friends.
Nobody expects the second coming of the Squirrel Lord.